नमस्कार. आयच्या ग्राउंड झिरोक तुमकां सगळ्यांक येवकार. कोविडाची परिस्थिती सुधारता अशें खूब जाण म्हणटात, पण काल आमी एक बरी स्टोरी केल्ली, ती म्हळ्यार फाटल्या 15 दिसांच्या पॉझिटिव्हिटी रेटाचेर. म्हळ्यार पर डे सॅम्पल्स कितली टेस्ट जातात आनी तातूंतले कितले लोक पॉझिटिव्ह जातात. એટલે सगळ्यांत चिंतेची गजाल आसा ती म्हळ्यार अजून मेरेन आमचो पॉझिटिव्हिटी रेट हो 10 ते 15% मदीं कन्सिस्टंटली आसा. वॉट डज दीस मीन आणि हाव सिरियस इज दीस? कारण नंबर्स जरी कमी दिसले तरी पॉझिटिव्हिटी रेट जो मेरेन हाय आसता तो मेरेन द डेंजर इज स्टील अरावंड. बाकीच्या राज्यांनी किंवा कांय व्हडल्या शारांनी तुम्ही पळयलां आसतलें, तांणी पॉझिटिव्हिटी रेट खंय तरी 5% सकल पावतकीर, वीच इज अ जनरल वर्ल्ड हेल्थ ऑर्गनायझेशनाचे स्टँडर्ड, ओपनिंग अप सुरू केलां. गोंयच्या मुखार एक हें व्हडलें आव्हान आसा की 10 ते 15 हाज्या मदींच फाटले 15 दीस जाले. अपेक्षे प्रमाणे 15च्या सकल येवन 10च्या सकल येवन आतां मेरेन खंय तरी 5च्या लागीं आमचो पॉझिटिव्हिटी रेट पावपाक जाय आशिल्लो. तें जाल्लें दिसना. पण त्याच बरोबर खंय तरी अर्थवेवस्थाय बंद दवरप इज अ व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट प्रोपोजिशन. आनी आतां सद्याक आतां पावस चालू आसा, पण पावसा भितर सुद्दां गोंयांतलें टुरिजम भरपूर चलतालें. टुरिजम इंडस्ट्री सद्याची ही जी परिस्थिती आहा ताजे कडेन कशी पळयता आनी तांणी मुख्यमंत्र्याक कितें सजेशन्स दिल्यात हाजेर आमी आज उलयतात. म्हाका जॉयन जातात ट्रॅव्हल अँड टुरिजम असोसिएशन ऑफ गोवाचे अध्यक्ष निलेश शाह. निलेश, वेलकम. सगळ्यात पयली गजाल, तुम्ही किती सजेशन्स दिल्यात आणि वॉट इज अ रॅशनल बिहाइंड दॅट सजेशन?
मी हॅव गिवन सजेशन दोन पार्टन दिला. एक म्हणजे रिलीफ आणि दुसरा सजेशन दिला आम्ही फॉर द इमेज बिल्डिंग. आता ऑन द रिलीफ फ्रंट इट इज नो डिफरंट दॅन व्हॉट वी हॅव सजेस्टेड लास्ट टाइम. सो आम्ही मागला की मोस्ट ऑफ द हॉटेल्स वेर क्लोज फॉर 2 months and we don't know exactly when it's going to start back. म्हणजे एक्साइजचे जे लायसन्स आसा ताका तेंच्यांनी तितून अदर स्टेट्सचे पेर धरून ऑन सिमिलर लायन्स गोवा ऑल्सो एक्साइज म्हणजे फीज आसता तेजेर तेंच्यांनी रिलीफ दिवची. प्लस टुरिझम लायसन्स फी तेंच्यांनी खूप वाडयला. सर्टन केसीस अप टू 20 times फी वाडयला. सो ते पण तेंच्यांनी पोस्टपोन करचे फॉर एटलीस्ट फॉर 1 more year फॉर इन्क्रीज इन द फीज and if possible give a relief on the renewal fee. दुसरे असले मेन म्हणजे इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पॉवर. आता किती झाला की दे हॅव स्टार्टेड इश्युइंग द नोटिसेस टू द हॉटेल फॉर डिस्कनेक्शन. मेन थिंग पहिली म्हणजे हांगा धंदो ना, ऑक्युपन्सी थोडे हॉटेल चालू आसा, ऑक्युपन्सी इज हार्डली एनीथिंग, आणि तितून तुम्ही नोटिसी धाडटा फॉर डिस्कनेक्शन विच इज नॉट प्रॉपर. सो व्हॉट वी आर रिक्वेस्टिंग की यू चार्ज ऑन एक्च्युअल, फिक्स चार्ज करू नका, आणि यू गिव्ह अ टाइम फॉर रिपेमेंट. So तुम्ही आता they can pay up to maybe January, February all the bills, and late fee तुम्ही charge करचे ना. So this is which are possibility. Secondly was not statutory fees like municipality taxes, panchayat tax. आता even Penji municipality they have increased fees drastically, but hopefully they will reduce it. Our representation is gone to them. Secondly, just for levy of say garbage levy taxes, garbage levy or tax, whatever we call it. Now there is no collection of garbage, but still they are charging those levies. So certain things they should understand. When business is not there, this thing should not be charged. Maggie, say basic suggestion dile ki GST, of course this are related to center. The hospitality industry in त्यांच्यानी GST कमी करचो, right, from 18% to 12%, because that can give a boost to the tourism industry big way. Secondly, thirdly, आमचो असलो की the employment for provident fund त्यांच्यानी last year जे रिलीफ दिल्ली ESI पेमेंटाची ती त्यांच्यानी कंटिन्यू करची. दुसरे असले विजा फीज, वेज अँड वेन इंटरनॅशनल टुरिस्ट स्टार्ट, विजा फी त्यांच्यानी bare minimum $4 to $5 करून दवरची. So that will act like a main what you call tool for marketing Goa in international circuit. So these were the basic suggestions. Secondly, interest subvention जे त्यांच्यानी बजेटान अनाउन्स केला it is for 6 months. They should do extend it for minimum another 6 months at least. So these were the basics of my suggestion as far as the relief is concerned. The main part, other part was image building. Now Goa, तुम्ही जाणार, there was lot of negativity around Goa in last few months. And खयचे media पहिले तुम्ही, especially खयचे channel open केले आम्ही, तर we used to say Goa news used to flash Goa असं झालंय, and there was lot of negativity around Goa. So if we have to start tourism back, we'll have to create that positivity. Because unless tourists find safe, these not going to come to Goa. I mean, Goa open केल्या म्हणून काही tourists असे येऊचे ना. We'll have to project ourselves that we are a safe destination. We have the things in order. The Goa government, the scheme which they come out, the vaccinating Goa as at the earliest, I think that will go a long way in reviving tourism into Goa, because that will bring in confidence at all levels. It will bring the confidence in the people working in the industry. It will bring in the confidence in the people staying around the hotels. It will bring the confidence in the local public, and of course, overall our customer, tourists, they will find it very safe. I think with that, I think we are on the right direction, because the vaccination is only the key. If you hear all the doctors or any, what do you call, wherever you hear, maybe in international or locally, any doctors, the solution to this starting economy or rebooting economy will be vaccination. So I think that will go a long way.
Nilesh, एक गजाल
main म्हणजे किती आला, the signages has to be put in. So these are small suggestions which we have given.
No, निलेश, एक गजाल जी आर इंटरेस्टिंग विच अनलाइक इंडस्ट्री हरशी सगळेजण सांगतात की ओपन अप म्हणून. तुम्ही एक गजाल फॉर्मली सांगल्या की जो मेरेन पॉझिटिव्हिटी रेट 5% सकल येना तो मेरेन कंप्लीट ओपन अप करनाकात म्हणून. हाऊ डीड दिस सजेशन कम अप?
See, basically, when we were starting back, we had consultation with the doctors in Goa, and we took their views also. Basically, the idea is, we want sustainable tourism. एकदा चालू केलं म्हणून आणि परत बंद जावपाक नाका टुरिझम. So if we taking that in mind, sustainability is the key. आता तुम्ही खूप डॉक्टरांचे तुम्ही तुमच्या चॅनलवर पहिला हवाय, आणि तुम्ही पहिला की एव्हरीबडी हॅज गिवन वन थिंग इज व्हेरी क्लिअर, दॅट दिस म्युटंट व्हायरस इज द purpose why this pandemic weapon double means it was the rate of containment was more than double in Goa, or it was not only Goa but throughout India which was affected. So if the 5% कमी आले, then everything is in control. And in case anything and then we are able to take care of it. Because main thing किती आसा, आणि last day किती असले, it was we were trading in unknown territory, wherein we did not know what we are heading for. Now आम्ही जाणा many things we know about this virus today, and one thing is very clear, this COVID is here to stay for some time, and we'll have to learn to do business around this COVID. So keeping that in mind, it's better to be precautionate and keep all the safety measures in place, have self-constraint as far as the SOPs are concerned to be followed strictly. So basically, even the SOPs पहिली म्हणताले की it was fully single masking. Now we are talking about double masking. So 3 principles of SOPs which are required to be followed strictly by everyone. And if people not following, आम्ही request केला government की they should start finding people in big way. And throughout Goa, all tourist places, all public places, there has to be proper signages, awareness among for the COVID appropriate behavior, because that is only wherein we'll able to not only tourists but all businesses to sustain. Because आता परत जे बंद झाला, we are back to square one. Last day when we started, it allow everybody of us to sustain our businesses. So again, if you want to restart, and if we have to restart, we'll have to be very, very precautionate, and we'll have to follow the COVID appropriate behavior in the post measure, without any what to call any chances.
एक गजाल निलेश मुद्दाम विचारिस्ता की एक कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल गजाल म्हळ्यार ती कित्याक कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल ती म्हाका खबर ना, बट मेकिंग कोविड नेगेटिव्ह सर्टिफिकेट मॅन्डेटरी और वॅक्सिनेशन सर्टिफिकेट्स मॅन्डेटरी. आणि तुमच्या सजेशना भितर ह्यो गजाली आसात. जनरली गव्हर्नमेंट हॅज बीन व्हेरी हेजिटंट ऑन दीज इश्यूज. इंडस्ट्री कशी ह्या सजेशनाची मेरेन पावली की दिस इज द बेस्ट वे टू डू इट, अँड हाऊ डू यू लुक एट इट, हाऊ प्रॅक्टिकल इट इज?
See, suggestion-wise, this has come because if you want sustainability, then I think this is one of the things which we'll have to look into it. आता when we go for international any flights, you आता bubble flights which are operating, all country is making the certain test entry compulsory. So that was the key. Now challenge for the government is how to implement this testing. Because a lot of people are coming by railway, and if the railway power you cannot send them back. Or they also put up the open suggestions if anybody wants to put up the labs, testing facility at the entry points with the charge, they are open to it. So government has lot of their own challenges in actually implementing things which we are asking for. But if we are able to do it, I think it can go long way. Like right now on the flights, everything is been followed strictly. That they insist on right now, as per High Court orders, only the ICMR testing done. It may be a rapid test or antigen test or any other test as per ICMR. Those people are only allowed. People who are landing on the coming by the flights. Now, similarly, what we have requested, it can be done on the road entry and on the by railway entry. Now, problem with the railway entry means that the side entry point that are going. Similarly, road also there are 5 to 6 entry points. So it will be maybe practically it is very challenging to the government. But if we are able to do that, I think we can go long way into the sustainability of the tourism industry in Goa, which is right now again revenue generating industry to the exchequer.
निलेश, एक गजाल आहा की जे लोक हॉस्पिटॅलिटी इंडस्ट्री भितर काम करतात तांकां प्रायोरिटीचेर वॅक्सिनेट करून घेवपाचे विशीं इज इंडस्ट्री डुईंग समथींग? बिकॉज वी नो दॅट वॅक्सिनेशन इज नाव ओपन फॉर एवरीबडी अबव 18, बट फ्रॉम द इंडस्ट्री पॉयंट ऑफ व्यू एज एन इंडस्ट्री इनिशिएटीव अशें कितें चल्लां काय कितें की तुमच्या सेक्टरांतल्या इंडस्ट्रींतल्या जितले लोक काम करतात तांकां जाता तितले बेगीन वॅक्सिनेट करून घेवया, कारण आता आमच्या 2 डोसाच्या मदलो जो टायम आसा दॅट टायम ऑल्सो इज सबस्टेन्शियली हायर. So is industry taking any initiatives like this of getting its own staff or own people vaccinated?
Absolutely. In fact, many of the we had requested government way back in March to give priority to the people working in the hospitality industry. But the government had their own constraint. So even the last suggestion was that tourism sector has to be priority vaccine there. Fortunately for us, the Goa government opened vaccination for everyone. So many of the hotels through the private channel when they opened, they have got vaccinated by paying the huge amount, but they have vaccinated their full people. Many of the hotel group. Now what we have requested that each and every person in the industry should get themselves priority vaccinated, because the vaccination is only key which will take us forward. So one of the suggestions when we were discussing yesterday, we had come and there are few people like a person from Nepal. There are many in Goa working in kitchen and they are working in the security. Now many of them have the Aadhaar card or other ID card of India, but many of them don't have any ID card of India. So आम्ही गव्हर्नमेंटाक सांगले की त्यांना कसे करचे. So government was very positive on it that they will come out some way out for even vaccinating them. So the bottom line is the vaccination is only the key which will allow us to sustainable tourism. It will bring back the confidence of tourists, and it will allow us to what to call reboot tourism in Goa, which is need of us because everybody is suffering big time.
निलेश, मुद्दम एक गजाल विचारचे दिसता इन हाइंडसाइट टुडे, कारण एक जे लेट कर्फ्यू घालपा खातीर जे कारण दिलें वॉज इकॉनॉमी, आनी इकॉनॉमी म्हळ्यार बेसिकली इट वॉज प्रायमरीली टुरिजम. इन हाइंडसाइट आज दिसता that if we had gone for a curfew like measures almost a month in advance, आज आमची परिस्थिती खूप बरी आसपाची. इतली जे लोक सोंपले गेले तितली तरी वाईट परिस्थिती जावपाची न्ही.
Frankly, it is like that COVID situation is dynamics is changing every time. There are new things we are learning every time. Now, if you go to see throughout India, it's not only Goa which has suffered. Throughout India, it was the same situation. So it is unfortunate that the wave has come during that period of time wherein everything was all of sudden. So if you take the doctor's advice and doctor's suggestion now,
Hmm.
as and when if we find this third wave coming in or whatever, the key will be the locking on time. The
Yeah.
on because that is only way forward. So now we know how to react on if at all third wave comes. Government also knows, industry also knows, and public also knows what is a way forward as and when third wave comes.
Hmm.
That is immediately we have to दारा बंद करून घरात रावपा जाय. So that
सामकें.
is the so that is we have learned that through the past. So I think that should be a good learner for us, and I think we'll act fast compared to what we have done when second wave came.
Last question, and I know it's a very painful question, and I always ask you this: what is the occupancy rate right now?
It is very bad. Uh, it is. I will not kind of call on percentage wise. Also, it may be hanging from 1 to 2%, and many of the hotels have not started. And just for your knowledge sake, again, that out of registered hotel 3,500, only last till March, only 1,300 had started. So small hotels had not yet started, and they will not yet start unless inbound tourism starts or charter tourism starts, because they depend on that clientele for their operations and their mode of doing business. So there are many verticals of tourism which are not started, and I think it will take a while before all verticals of tourism will start. But the key is survival.
Yeah.
And I'm sure with the positivity around, which we are trying to build in, the industry will be able to survive. And if all goes well, as the government of India has planned, vaccinating people by December, I think from January onwards, we'll have a lot of tourists into Goa, and it will help to revive economy in big way.
Yeah. Thanks, Nilesh. Thanks a lot for joining. Magista, very practical. In spite of being from the industry, usually industryची एक overdrive असता to reopen things and start something. But very cautious, yet optimistic approach adopted by TTAG. Thanks a lot for joining and these valuable suggestions. मागista ही फक्त सरकारा खातीरच न्ही, जाल्यार गोंयच्या प्रत्येक सेक्टरा खातीर जी TTAGन सजेशन्स दिल्या ही एप्लिकेबल आणि प्रॅक्टिकल आसात. आय थिंक very क्लियर. आज आम्ही विस्तारान ताजेर चर्चा केली. निलेश, वन्स अगेन थँक्स अ लॉट फॉर जॉयनिंग.
Thank you, Brahma. Thanks for having me.